if they feel that this is simply an insurance policy for what is not likely to take place, and they're comfortable with whatever possible out-of-pocket expenses could incur, and they're able to cover those, then the budget plan is something that they ought to seriously consider. So again, that can be retrieved anytime. At this point in time, you can click on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to select, in this particular case, we're going to select the budget plan. Now notice here, the budget plan has an initial monthly payment of this amount, followed by subsequent monthly payments of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to select a budget single payment, because we intend to simply make the payment and not have incurring additional payments. Now what you could have done is gone back and changed some of the details about the person, their age, how long the stay was going to be, if you felt that that needed to be modified to affect a change in the dollar amounts. But we're going to leave it at that for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to assume in this case that we have a woman who's going to travel to the UK. Female, of course. And we indicated that she was 20. So what we're going to do is make it so that we've got August 10th. And we're going to make that, let's see, perfect. Obviously, the U.S. visitors, there's not going to be a visa requirement for that. And what we're going to do here, mailing address. Now, what we've said in the past is anytime that as you complete this process and there is a field that is either missed or not completed, and you come down to this point here and try to confirm the order, the system will come back to you with an error message and ask you to either correct or complete the field. So there'll never be a situation where you will have completed the application process without all the necessary information. The system will prompt you for that. But the one thing that the system won't do, and I want to make sure to call that out to you, is it won't correct information that isn't right. And by that I mean if the name of the beneficiary, the age of the person, where you're going, their name or their passport number, or information like that, when you key that in, the system assumes that the information you're putting in is correct. It has no way of knowing whether that's right or wrong. And if that information appears subsequently on either the ID card or a visa letter or some other information that's not correct, there may be a problem at some point in the future. So we would caution again that the effort be taken to make sure that the information put into the system is correct, because it makes sure that at the time the person goes to use the process of the product, it works smoothly. So what we're going to do again here is we're going to put in Karen Santos. Home country is again Philippines. The host country is going to be the United Kingdom. State in the U.S., student scholar status. We're going to assume that this is going to be some graduate work. Now again, what you can assume is do all the individual includes out and meet the eligibility requirements for this plan. If you have any question about that, you simply click on that. So again, must be a full-time student at a college, excluding online colleges and university. Must be a full-time scholar. Must be residing outside the home country. Must not have obtained residency status in the host country. Is a full-time student. Is taking at least 10 credit hours. A full-time scholar who's working 30 hours a week. And some information on dependents. So if you ever do have a question on whether to check that box yes or no, which is what they're asking here, you need to be fully aware of what that status is. So while and meet the eligibility, in this case, yes, we're going to say that. Beneficiary for the participant in this particular case, we'll assume that it's going to be the father. He's going to be the person here that is taking care of this. So we're going to say that Donald Santos is the beneficiary. And we're going to make it the father. You can notice the variety of choices that you have there. Again, we're going to go through the payment methodology for this one. And we're going to select these. This is the same way that you would do it at your end when you're completing this online for a client. No different. And you would go through the same process. And again, taking care to complete this properly will expedite it on your end. Again, the system will bounce back if it's not correct, and it will notify you of what you need to correct in order for the process to be completed. Wrong choice. And the country is United States. And as stated before in our prior videos, this is a terms and conditions that the client that you're operating on behalf needs to be aware of what those terms and conditions are, because as stated before, when you click on the confirm order, you are in essence agreeing to these. You're agreeing to those terms and conditions. And it's important that everybody knows it so there's no issue at a later date. So if you're at the point where you both this is okay and everything about it is worth proceeding, you would click on confirm order. As I've said before in the past, click on confirm order one time, not multiple times. So now we've got what is basically our receipt. It confirms that the quote was $396. There's no shipping. That was the total amount charged. The age was 21. It'll begin on December 1st. It'll last for 12 months. It's a student-only policy. The fulfillment online was included. It's the budget plan does not include travel to the U.S. So if for some reason the student left to the U.S. for a visit or a trip outside of the U.K. and was injured or hurt or required treatment in the U.S., it would not be covered. It's important to point that out. If that was required, we could have selected the U.S. as to be included in the policy. So if the student is going to be moving around, be sure to make sure that all countries that they're likely to travel to are included. She's a female, gives her birth, she's a citizen of the Philippines. Her mailing address, her phone number, her email, her home country, host country, anticipated return date, name of the university, and the beneficiary are all spelled out. Furthermore, the payment is spelled out. There's a credit card number, the expiration date, the purchase, and who bought it. Now you can effectively make changes here, as I said, specifically if you want to include, say, travel to the U.S., if you want to include that. But this basically summarizes all the input that we've made. We click here again. Click only one time. If you're to click a second time, you run the risk of having a duplicate order placed on your credit card. So we're going to click place order. Now what we're going to do here is thank you for purchasing the StudentSecure coverage. We're going to click here to review the fulfillment documents. So what we're going to do is access this document. It should all be visible to you as we walk through this process. I apologize, sometimes this doesn't move very quickly, but it does work. Now, okay, let's see if we can access that document. Going here. Okay, that's not what we were looking for. Okay, well that document should have downloaded. Let's see if we can do that again. Ah, here we go. It did. I apologize. Sometimes I get a little impatient and move around. So let's take a look at the summary document. You will notice that it's a 5-page document, and it's issued to Karen Santos with the address that we put in, and it's a student secure policy. And it's spelled